Hey VC, welcome back to the channel. It's me, James. Cannot believe it's been a whole week since I did a video. This week absolutely just flew by. I tell you, if time doesn't slow down, I just don't know what I'm going to do. It doesn't seem like there's enough time in the days anymore to get everything done, and this week just flew by. It was a good week, had a good work week, and I'm definitely ready for the weekend. And just ready to play music and enjoy myself and decompress a little bit. So hope everyone else had a good week and you're looking forward to watching this video. This is the second video I've done now on these artist features. Just a little quick talk about 10 artists that I would like more people to get to know. So I kind of label these 10 artists you should know videos. And this video you get a bonus because I wasn't planning on doing this. I've made some notes on this one. I want to make sure I get all this information right because I did watch back the first one I did on the artists you should know, and I made a couple mistakes on that one. Probably no one caught them but me, but I did make some notes. So if you see me looking at a screen, it's just because I've written down a few things that I want to talk about with each one of these artists just a little bit, and try not to miss anything this time. So I'll be going back and forth just a little bit on this video, but these are 10, or I guess in this case 11 artists that I would like more people to get familiar with and maybe take some time to listen to. I'm always trying to challenge myself and find new music. I've said this before in previous videos. It's a big passion of mine not to fall in ruts, not to just listen to the same old thing. I do love the classic stuff. I do like albums that seem to be more familiar, and I've got lots and lots of that, and hopefully I've shown you some of that already. But in these videos, I'm talking about artists that haven't really gotten on the radar yet. At least here in the U.S., where you live, it could be different. But for me, they're either new to me or new to many of you, hopefully. So that's kind of the point of doing these particular videos. So with that, we'll get right to it. This is a last-minute edition. I don't have any notes written down. But I have a good friend here in the VC named Ben Simpson. And Ben has a good channel, very fun channel that he's just started up here not that long ago, and we have some nice fun conversations on Facebook, and he's going to a concert tomorrow to see this band, and I wanted to wish you, Ben, a great time with this concert. You turned me on to these guys about a month or so ago, and I had to order the album from the UK, and I'm so glad I did because it is such a great album, and this is definitely one of those artists that I wish more people knew here in the U.S., and I think over time they will. The band is called The Stripes. They're very young, as you can see. They're just teenagers. But they're a UK band. They're from Ireland, and just a really, really rockin'. This is not a boy band by any means, so don't confuse the look of the cover or the age of the guys in the group. They're a really, really good, solid rock and roll band, and they've got some great riffs and some great sound. So Ben, you're going to see these guys tomorrow. This is my copy of the vinyl record. Make sure you send me a signed one. I'm kidding, but yeah, thanks for turning me on to The Stripes, and I know you're going to have a great time with the show. I think you're going with your dad, so that's awesome. I used to go to all kinds of concerts with my dad when I was younger. My dad loved music. And to hear younger people in the same situation I was with kind of a multi-generational thing, I think it's absolutely wonderful. Cherish every moment of it because those are memories I will always keep with me, as those early concerts with my dad, some of the best times of my life. Okay, so here are the other 10 artists that I did kind of do a little bit of preparation for. And for most of these artists, I'm going to give a little bit of a shout out again to each individual album, because without the VC, primarily the Facebook page, because I've only been recently active on the YouTube portion of stuff, somebody has either recommended it or posted it, talked about it, created conversation, it looked interesting, put a video clip in there which I listened to, and this is primarily my main source of finding new music is through the VC. And it's one of the greatest rewards of being a VC member, in my opinion, is one, friendships I've talked about a lot, and two, discovering all this new music, and there's so much of it. I could probably do 100 of these artists you should know videos, and I plan to do a lot more of them, so I hope you enjoy it. First one shout out goes to a very early member of the VC, somebody I met in the very, very beginning of my tenure 3 years ago, Rob Clark. Rob mentioned he liked this band, posted the album, and I can't remember the exact circumstances, Rob, but I either had a short conversation with you, or you posted a video clip, or it was just a series of other comments that inspired me to go buy the album. And I had only heard one song. I'm like, okay, this is right up my alley. I'm going to like this. And that is Glass Animals. And this is their debut album called Zappa. I hope I'm saying that right. It's Zappa or Zappa. It's Z-A-B-A. I think it's Zappa. Wonderful package, first of all. Just absolutely stunning artwork on this. And in the effort of time, guys, I'm not going to show you the vinyl records for the most part. I'm just going to show you the covers and just talk about the group a little bit. But Glass Animals, going back to my notes here, is I wrote down laid back, deep, interesting, a little bit funky music that you just want to kind of chill out to. This is their debut album, formed in 2012, and I think fans of Foals or Alt J might get into Glass Animals. So I'm going to try to give a couple of comparisons to some other bands that maybe are a little bit more well known that you can kind of take a reference point from on that. But do check out Glass Animals. This is a really good album. Thanks, Rob, for getting me into this one. And if I'm not mistaken, I think you just saw them in concert a week ago, or maybe it was this week even. It was very recent. And I'm sure it was wonderful. So if they ever come back to my part of the world, I hope to get a chance to go see them. So great post on that one. I'm great to know them. Second artist that I want to get you to get to know a little bit is someone who's getting a lot of attention, actually. She doesn't need my help to get more attention. And I'll give my shout out now to Adam Nichols. Adam is another VC member who's very well known, has a great channel. Check out his channel. And Adam got me interested in this artist called Courtney Barnett. Courtney Barnett, I knew nothing about, never heard of her before, and this album just came out, I don't know, maybe 6-8 weeks ago, and is garnering a lot of attention. Made a couple notes here. Fresh, most genuine, most original, most exciting, most intelligent voice to emerge in pop in a long time. I wrote here, she's Lou Reed, she's Bob Dylan, she's Joni Mitchell. Just a wonderful, deep, poetic, a very compelling artist here. This is definitely an artist to watch for big things from in the coming years. I think she's going to be around a long time. The album is called Sometimes I Sit and Think, and Sometimes I Just Sit. So Adam, great tip for me to get this one. This is the color vinyl version on Mom and Pop. I think there's also a very limited one. Adam, you have it. A 2 LP set of the same color. I think this one's orange vinyl. Yeah, it's orange or yellow, I forget. But I've really been enjoying this, and this is just fantastic. So I also liked it so much that I went out and got her first album, too. This is kind of a double EP set. It's called the double EP, Sea of Split Peas. I don't like this one as much, if I'm being honest with you. The new album really takes her to a new level. This one's good, but it's not as good as what she's done this past year. So again, Mom and Pop, I recommend the new one very, very strongly. This one maybe not as strong, but if you love the first one like I did, definitely worth having. So again, thanks Adam for that one. Next artist I want to talk about. Another artist is getting a little bit of attention. I know Ryan Dye likes them. Tim Guthrie likes him. But I got introduced by my friend in Germany, Chris Schupman. Told me about this guy because he was desperate to find the green copy of his latest album, ironically called Primrose Green. This is Riley Walker. Riley Walker is amazing and someone I was absolutely foreign to. This is his third album, I think. 2 of them are on vinyl. Made some notes here on Riley Walker. Riley Walker is reminiscent of a true American guitar player. I'm reminded of Nick Drake, or John Martin, Tim Buckley, Kurt Weill. His songs are poetry, and his writing is flawless. One of the best albums of 2015 for me right here. This is absolutely fantastic. This is not the green copy. This is just a standard black, but I don't even care, really. I'm just happy to have it, and for those that got the very limited edition green one, well, congratulations, and you obviously knew him before I did, because this is the album he did before Primrose Green. This one is called All Kinds of You. Again, very similar style. I think the new one's better. He just keeps getting better and better. But this is definitely an artist that I think deserves a lot of attention. Very, very Nick Drake-like. That's the artist I compare him to the most, but I mentioned some of these other artists that he's been compared to a little bit, to give you a point of reference. The next artist I'm going to talk about is brand new. I've only had this a few days, but I wanted to give a shout out to my very good friend Remo Albrecht. Remo is in Switzerland and recommended this album to me, Zone 6. He sent me a link to one of their songs, and I was kind of blown away. I did the same thing when I posted the album. I posted that same link, and I had quite a few people say, that sounds fantastic. So Remo, great suggestion on this one. This album is called Love Monster, and that's the first song on here. There's only 4 tracks on this entire album. It's very long psych music, if you like psychedelic music. I've made a few notes here. Hard to find much information out about this band. I couldn't find anything really online. They do have a Facebook page, but there's very little information on it. I think they're from Denmark. It's a 4-piece band. Purely instrumental. There's no lyrics or no words on this at all. Very long jams. One song on the first side is 15 minutes, the other side a little over 15 minutes. But if you like long psych jams, this is beautiful. I'm going to show you this one. I said I wasn't going to do that, but I have to show you this album really quick because it is really beautiful. It's just a work of art on the vinyl copy. All vinyl copies come in this color. I think there's only 500 of them though, so isn't that a gorgeous piece of vinyl? Just beautiful. But besides all that, it's great music. So if you can't find the vinyl, pick up the CD, or you can stream it on Spotify or whatever your preferred streaming service is. It's definitely worth your time. So Zone 6, Remo, you really nailed it on that one. And Remo, you're always suggesting new things to me, and I can't say I like it all because your taste is quite eclectic for me. But the things that you kind of know me pretty well, and the things that I think you think I'm going to like, you're always suggesting. So thanks for that. The next band I want to talk about is a band that has 3 albums out. This is their most recent one. They're on Sub Pop, and this is the loser edition. This is Doldrums. Doldrums is Canadian indie experimental electronic music reminiscent of Unknown Mortal Orchestra, Crystal Castles, Grimes, and Purity Rings. So if any of those names ring a bell to you for the electronic genre, electronic indie genre, it's kind of a little bit hard for me to describe that, but Grimes, Purity Ring, Crystal Castles, you guys probably know what I'm talking about. A really, really good album. I highly recommend it for those who like really danceable electronic. This is the loser edition. All of the limited edition stuff on Sub Pop comes in a loser edition. Worth your time. Really enjoyed it. And I just recently ordered the album that they put out on vinyl. Prior to this one was on a different record label, not on Sub Pop, so I think they're moving up in the world. But I look forward to getting that. So that kind of shows you how much I'm enjoying that. The next act I want to talk about is due to my friend Richie Garca. I always say your last name wrong. I apologize, man. But you know who you are. I mention you in a lot of my videos. This is a band that he introduced me to about 6-8 months ago, and I really kind of fell in love with these guys. They're an LA outfit called Froth, and this is their second full-length album called Bleak. And let me just see what I wrote here. Formed in 2012, this 4-piece Los Angeles indie shoegaze band on Lollipop. Sounds similar to 3OC's. In some ways, psychedelic power pop is, I guess, what I would call this, more than maybe shoegaze isn't quite accurate. This is a split colored vinyl. Still wasn't going to do this, but what the heck? Some of these records are really, really pretty, and I hate to not show you that. It's just maybe take an extra 5 minutes of your time to take a look at the record. Hopefully you won't mind too much. But isn't that pretty? It's a black and pink split. Labels are just absolutely plain. Not a thing on them, so don't even know what side you're playing, if I'm being honest. But I really, really liked it. This one was a pre-order because I liked the first one. I first bought it on cassette tape. These guys are on Lollipop Records or Burger Records if you're buying the cassette tape. And those who are buying more recent cassettes know that Burger and Lollipop are kind of more known for their cassette tapes than they are for their vinyl records. But some of their bigger bands are coming out now with vinyl records. Here's the label. burger. Looks like a hamburger. And really, really liked it. So I found, this is getting hard to find, I didn't even know it, but I found a copy on eBay of their first album called Patterns. This is not the very limited edition. I think there's only 50 of the color vinyl on this one. But this one was on Lollipop. Very similar labels, and they may be connected in some way, I'm not sure. But this is just the black vinyl on their debut. So now I have the cassette and the vinyl on this. But I guess it just goes to show you how much I'm really enjoying Froth. So Richie, thanks so much for introducing me to Froth, because I really, really like them. Next artist I want to talk about is one that I have, I guess I discovered them on my own, but Brett Helm, Brett's Life on This Planet, he does a blog and a YouTube channel, is very active in the Facebook group, obviously. One of the better VC members out there. I mean, his channel is just wonderful, Brett, so thank you for all your great videos. And you're so good at making them quick, I wish I could do it. You do a whole video on this guy and talk about the other album I'll show you in a minute, but I do want to put more emphasis on his new album. This is Jocko Gardener. This is Hypnophobia. This is the European press of the orange vinyl. He's on polyvinyl here in the US now, and they did a limited edition red. Missed out on that one, so I had to go to Europe to get the orange limited edition, because I really wanted a limited edition on this one, because I love his last album so much. Let me just read what I wrote here about Jocko Gardener. This music sends me off into a fairy tale dreamland. Very late 1960s sound to this one. Sounds something like you would have come right from early Pink Floyd. I mean, this is Syd Barrett era Pink Floyd to a T almost. So if that is your thing, this Jocko Gardener you're really going to like. Maybe even more so on his next album, or his previous album, Cabinet Full of Curiosities. This is a stunning album. I have to admit I do like this one more than his latest one, but maybe it'll grow on me. I've only had it a few weeks. This one I've had for 2 or 3 years. Lush landscapes of wavy, groovy sounds, day-glow vocals, great songwriting, tight musicianship. This is one you've got to hear. This is an album that just recently got repressed, so you can pick it up really cheap. It's only $15, $16 on Amazon or your local record store. This is the one I recommend you get first, and if you fall in love with it, then you might want to check out his most recent album, which is also very good. I don't want to dismiss this, but that first one is remarkable. So very very late 60s sound on Jocko Gardener stuff. Okay, moving on here. We've got just 3 left. This one I'm just going to give a very quick mention to Alex Ballard. Alex told me about this band. It's actually his dad that really likes this band, and went to see him live and had the album signed and gave it to Alex. And I thought, okay, well, Alex has fantastic music taste, and I'm sure his dad must have fantastic music taste, so I went ahead and bought it. Had to get it from the UK because they don't have any here in the US. This is called Stornoway. I'm not even going to try to pronounce the album title name, Bonzi. It's really tough for me to say that word. Bonzi maybe? I'm not sure. Alex, you might have to comment and help me out there. But this is a really good album. I know your most recent video, you kind of shrugged it off like, well, it's not really my taste. It's a little bit too folky, a little bit too laid back for me, but for me it was perfect, and I really enjoyed it, so I wanted to give a shout out to you, Alex, for the recommendation. You can tell your dad, good job. I just made a couple notes here. Highly pleasant, melodic folk album with gorgeous vocals and arrangements. This is their 3rd album, actually, and the only one I can find at all that I can even get my hands on anywhere. It really, to me, it has more of a Simon and Garfunkel kind of feel. Just trying to put something out there that you can relate to, that you guys would know. So check out Stornoway. I really enjoyed it, and thanks, Alex, for the good recommendation. Keep them coming. Okay, this next artist, I can't credit anybody for, because I'm probably one that pushes this guy more than anybody else in the VC. I keep pushing and pushing and pushing for you guys to get more into this artist, because I just absolutely love him, and that is the remarkable Don Gibson. Don Gibson is an absolute favorite of mine, one of my favorite artists going today. He's on Sub Pop, and I'll just read what I wrote here like all of them. He's from Pennsylvania, singer-songwriter, and I label him as ambient country, but don't let that fool you, because his sound is unique. I was just talking to a friend of mine, Nathan. Hill, who's he doesn't make videos, but he's very active in the VC, and he is interested always in what I'm listening to, and gave this a listen, I think, streaming, and said he loved it, and he's going to get a vinyl copy. So good job, Nathan. Highly emotional, intense, with a unique vocal delivery. This guy's voice is unlike anybody else's. This is his most recent album called Carnation. This is the Loser edition, and again, it's so beautiful. I have to show you this one. I'm not showing you them all, but I did have to show you just a few of these beautiful records, because it just makes buying vinyl so exciting when you get something special like this. And this is a particularly strong Loser edition. Just absolutely love it, and the colors just enhance the mood on this album so well. So Don Gibson, you know, he sings about near-death experiences. He sings about mental health struggles. He sings about psychosexual stuff, and he's just everyday kind of gloom and doom and dread, and you know, but it's all done so well and so effortlessly that you still feel uplifted, and you still feel like it's easy to listen to. It's not hard to stomach, and it's so honest that, to me, he's one of the greatest artists going today, and I certainly hope that this album does well. It's only just come out. I've had it for about 2 weeks now, maybe less than 2 weeks even, but I love it, and the one he did before, even on Sub Pop, is certainly no slouch either. This is one of the greatest albums I own, and I'm just going to be bold and say it. This is called Moan. Again, it's the Loser edition. This is just clear, so I won't waste your time. But I've played this album probably as much as any other album in my collection. My friend Tim Guthrie can vouch for that, because I'm always pushing Don Gibson down people's throat a little bit in the VC. I really want you guys to give Don a chance, because it's so good, and he's so unique, and such a talent that you know, what can I say? I know Mira, you heard it for 8 weeks when you lived here, when you came to America from Czech Republic, and I was always talking about Don Gibson. So, and I want to show you something special, because this is really, really, really hard to find, and I was so lucky to get it. I've had it for about 3 years now. This is his debut album, and this one goes for really ridiculous money. Even on CD, it's really ridiculous, so I'm afraid you're going to have to stream this one most likely. But this is just called All Hell. This is his first album, and it's a vinyl copy, obviously, and I'm so happy to have it. And it's also very good. This is prior to when he got on the Sub Pop label, but this is rare, and I'm just so happy to have it, because I'm such a big fan of his, and I figure if anyone deserves a copy of that one, it's me, because I really push people to like Don Gibson. So can't credit anyone for that one, because that one's all me. Okay, finally, I probably should have ended with Don Gibson, but I did want to talk about another band that a lot of people are starting to get to know a little bit, but I think there's still a lot of newbies out there too, and that is the wonderful Lone Bellow. The Lone Bellow, they've done 2 full albums now. Really, really cool. Harmonies, absolute perfect harmonies. It's just, if you like the Civil Wars, if you like the album that Alison Krauss did with Robert Plant called Raising Sand, it kind of reminds me a little bit of that. Lyrics, the timing, the flow, the cohesiveness, it's very intimate, gripping, personal, universal stories that make you want to lean in and not miss a single breath. This is just their second album, but it's very, very strong follow-up to their debut, and I don't see a lot of attention being placed on this album. Dave Letterman, one of the American TV hosts that just recently retired, likes them an awful lot. He had him on the show a few times. This is their debut album, just simply titled The Lone Bellow, and this one seemed to be getting a little bit more attention when it came out. A lot of people, Ryan and Jeremy and some of the other guys that seemed to follow me a little bit, also said how much they liked this album, and then the new one kind of came and went, and I didn't see much attention placed on it. So don't forget about the Lone Bellow, guys, and I'm really, really happy that my very, very good friend in the VC, James Lack, James and I talk so much about music and life and everything. You know, you've heard me say it 1,000 times. He's a special guy. James has got on to liking the Lone Bellow. I sent him a copy of their most recent album in a trade, And I said, hey, just give it a try. I know you like the Robert Plant album, Raising Sand. You did a whole review on that. If you like that, I think you're going to like this. And sure enough, he did. So I'm really, really happy, James, that you liked it. James, Rockboy680, you know, your channel's so good, and you are becoming more and more diverse in your taste, and just made me so happy, James, when you told me you enjoyed the Lone Bellow. So, wow, what am I at here, 25 minutes? That seemed like it was about 2 minutes, guys. It went so fast. I could go on for hours talking about new music. And I'm going to do another one of these very soon because I really enjoy these Artists You Should Know videos. It takes a little bit of research, it takes a little bit of time. I do need to make some notes. I want to get things right. Hope you don't mind that. And I just want to end by thanking my subscribers because you guys have been leaving such wonderful comments and suggestions and attaboys and all the good things that the VC is all about. I really have to thank all my subscribers because I'm getting more and more excited about making these videos. I seem to be really getting a lot of repeat viewers and some really loyal friends, and I can't thank you enough. So I just wanted to end by thanking all of you and encourage you to, again, keep them coming, keep the comments and likes coming, keep the suggestions coming on new music, and of course, if you haven't yet, I always would love more subscribers. So thank you all for watching. Hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and I'll be back next week for another, hopefully, fun video. Take care, everyone. See you soon. Bye for now.